Hey guys, so as I mentioned in yesterday's video, I'm going to do a makeup tutorial with the other palette that I picked up from e.l.f. Cosmetics, the Dark Matter palette. And this is a very everyday neutral palette. It's not crazy like most of e.l.f.'s palettes are. I mean, I like the crazy ones too, don't get me wrong, but it's nice to have a palette like this too because the quality of their eyeshadows is so good. It's just a really great formula. So in case you're new to my channel, I already have certain products on. Everything will be listed in the description box, and all the products that I'm going to use from this point forward will be listed as well. So I like to start with blush, and I like to use what's in my collection. And I knew I was going to need, well, need is, loose term here, but I wanted to use a burgundy blush. So I looked through my collection and I was like, do I even own one? Because it's not something that I use that often. But I found one in the Profusion Winter Wonderland collection from 2023. So yeah, I think I had better see if I can find a burgundy blush that I like, because this seems to be the only one that I have. So that's what we're going to start with now. That is in a very intense color. So I'm going to grab my old Essence blush brush and I'm just going to press it. Oh boy. Okay, so let's just tap it just to get started, then blend. So see, you don't need much, that's for sure. With a color like this, you want to really go easy. And even if you go easy, you're still probably going to have more than what you want. But just blend the heck out of it. Because I started on this side, that's why it's stronger. All right, that's an intense color. Okay, so did I tell you the name of the collection this was from? It's not available anymore. I mean, it was almost 2 years ago, but Winter Wonderland from 2023. Now, I also hadn't used the highlighter palette from that collection in a while either. So that's what this looks like. And I'm going to grab my Wet n Wild fan brush, and we're going to go into this really pretty, very light gold. And go right across the top of my cheekbones. Yeah, that's really pretty. You know, sometimes when you buy an entire collection, it ends up being your saving grace, because if I hadn't done that when this collection came out, I wouldn't have a burgundy blush to use today. But actually, I have something else that I could have used, but we'll get to that in a bit. For now, I'm just going to prime my eyes with my Morphe Solo Artist priming cream eyeshadow in the shade Debut with my Sephora 57 brush. And I'm going to make sure that I get right down in that corner, because it makes a big difference. Yeah, I figured since I was buying two palettes, I would get one with bold colors and one that was more like everyday, wear it anywhere type of palette. Because, you know, I like different things, and this palette just screams fall to me, and it'll be here before you know it. people are already talking about Halloween collections coming out. They usually come out in August, so pretty soon. I think some brands are even going to be releasing them in late July. I can't believe we're halfway through July already. All right, let's dig into the Melt Dark Matter palette. Now, the names are written on a plastic overlay. I wish they had written the names on the actual palette because I don't usually like to keep these, but I'll have to for the shade names. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to use is called Unseen. And it's this one right here. And let me swatch that so you can see what that looks like. Yeah, the shadows are really, really nice. Okay, so I'm going to use the brush that came with my Urban Decay Naked palette and pick up a little bit of that. Oh, I can use the mirror. So I'm going to go about halfway across the crease. And I'm going to go in the outer part of my lid. And I'm going to take this up. See, it still doesn't want to go on that one little spot. It's crazy how I have that issue almost every day. And it's not the eyeshadow primer because no matter what primer I use, it does that. So this is just a warm matte brown, not too dark, like a medium I would say. But what's really nice about this is look at this range of these mattes right here. You've got 3 mattes to choose from depending on your skin tone or what you want to use the shadow for. In real life, this is quite pigmented. It's not looking that way on camera, but in real life, it's quite pigmented to the point where I wouldn't add any more because then it would look crazy. Okay, so I wanted today's look to be very everyday wearable, like something that you would wear to the office or school or your job, whatever that may be. So I'm going to go into this light champagne color here. And I'm just going to use my finger to show you that it's actually a brighter gold than what it appears in the pan. And we're going to put that on my lid. And I'm not going to go all the way across because I am going to put something else there. So I'm going to grab another brush, and this is just a motor brush. And I'm going to go, oh, did I even tell you the name of that other shade? It's called Gleam, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to go into Enigma, which is this matte rust muted burgundy color. You know what, let me swatch it so you can see this one too. So it's like a brown that has red in it. We're going to put that in the outer part of my eye, in the very outer part of the lid, increase, but I'm not going to go too far in. I just want it in the very outside part. So we're not going to completely cover up that first color that we used. We just want some definition. Oh man, this just screams fall, this look. So yeah, this would be great for September or October. And that's why when I saw this palette, I immediately knew I wanted to put those three shades together. Okay, I'm going to go grab this little detail brush by Profusion, and we're going to pick up just a tiny bit more of this, and we're going to drag that underneath the eye, and we're going to connect it to what we did in the corner, like that. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside so I don't drop it. Now you've probably noticed that I have on like an olive khaki type green color shirt. So I'm going to use my Revlon eyeliner that is that color. It's the Revlon Colorstay Multiplayer Liquid Glide Eye Pencil in the shade 405 Fortress. Let me tell you, if you don't own an olive green eyeliner, this really comes in handy. I have used the heck out of this color, and you know, most people would be reaching for black or brown or whatever, but I use this a lot, and when fall comes, I'm probably going to use it even more than I am now. But lately, I've been really drawn to these fall colors, which is crazy because, you know, fall's not here yet, but I don't always stick to the seasons of things. You know, use the makeup that inspires you on that day. You know, don't wait till the season to do something that you feel like doing. All right, I'm going to shut the camera off and I'm going to play catch up with the other eye. I'm going to curl my lashes and apply my Essence Lash Princess waterproof mascara, and we'll come back and do the lips. Actually, I haven't done the mascara yet. I just realized that I want to do a highlight shade with this eye look. So I'm going to go back into my highlight palette because the highlight that I used on my face is lighter than the lightest gold shimmer shade in the eyeshadow palette. So let's take a clean motor brush and go into that gold and dust some of that on my brow bone. Yeah, because I used the lightest gold shade on my lids, and it's not light enough, really, for my skin tone to use as a highlight shade. Okay, now I will shut off the camera, curl my lashes, and be back. Okay, lashes are curled, mascara is on, and just like I said about the Profusion Winter Wonderland collection, when I bought the Glamlite Chucky collection, I don't know, let me see. That's even older than the Profusion collection. That was fall of September of 2023. But, you know, one of the things that I really want to do now is use what I have. You know, I was always hesitant to use limited edition collections in my video because people can't get these products anymore. But I want to use what I have and not always have everything be like new, you know? So this is the one that has Tiff on it. It's from the Chucky collection, that's why it says Chucky, but it's the Tiff lip liner, so that's what I'm going to use today. And this is perfect because it's like that brownish red color. And I don't think I have another liner like that. But this is all stuff to keep in mind, you know, for the future, because when these items have to be purged, because, you know, when they expire, I need to keep in mind that I need a burgundy blush and I need a brownish red lip liner. Okay, so for the lip product, you know, sometimes I forget that these Wet n Wild multi-sticks can be used for pretty much anything. Eyeshadow, um, blush, lipstick. You know, I tend to use them for eyeshadows, but in this case, this was the exact right color that I needed for my lipstick, so that's what we're going to use it for today. And the shade is called Burning Bridges, and it's like a burgundy red that's warm. Not as warm as that lip liner, though. Now, another option, of course, would have just been to use a warm nude. That would work just as well. But where I went so neutral on the eyes, I have to have a pop of color somewhere. So yeah, these apply beautiful as lipsticks. Most of the colors in the collection, though, are not really colors that you'd probably want to use on your lips unless you really wanted to go all out there and do some wild colors. But yeah, this one is great as a lipstick. And I probably would not be inclined to use this so much on my eyes because, I mean, look at the color, you know, that'd be tough to do on your eyes. But I could have used that as a blush today if I didn't have that Profusion palette. So I love that these are multi-use. So that is my Milk Cosmetics Dark Matter makeup tutorial. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing and liking the video if you enjoyed it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.